Or, gentlemen, listen carefully. Most men think attraction is purely about looks, money, or chasing a woman until she finally gives in. But the truth is far deeper. Or, female psychology works on principles that many men never learn. And when you understand those principles, you realize you don't have to beg for attention, or you don't have to force anything, and you don't have to settle for being ignored. Instead, you can make any woman want you, even if she's not initially interested. Or, here's the secret: women are not drawn to desperation, they're drawn to value. They're not pulled in by constant validation, or they're pulled in by the feeling of curiosity, mystery, and challenge. When a woman looks at you, she is subconsciously asking herself, or, does this man make me feel something different? Does he stand out from the rest? And if your presence triggers those emotions, attraction begins to grow naturally. Now, or what creates that shift in her mind? Confidence, not arrogance, not pretending, but genuine self-belief. When you walk, talk, and carry yourself as if you already know your worth, you instantly separate yourself from the average man. Most men put women on a pedestal and beg for approval. But the man who knows his own value forces her to lean in, forces her to wonder, why is he different? Or why is he not chasing me like everyone else? That curiosity alone plants the seed of desire. Next is emotional control. Women test men not to break them, but to measure them. Or if she ignores your text, delays her reply, or throws a sarcastic remark, she's not always rejecting you. She's testing your reaction. Do you get angry? Do you beg? Or do you lose your cool? Or do you remain unshaken, calm, and composed? A man who cannot be rattled instantly rises in her eyes, or because stability and strength are rare in today's world. Then there's presence. Women don't just want a man who looks good, they want a man who feels good to be around. Or your energy speaks louder than your words. If you radiate positivity, ambition, and passion, she feels it. If you live with purpose, she notices it. And when you're deeply focused on becoming your best self, physically, mentally, financially, she starts to realize that being with you is a privilege, or not the other way around. Another powerful element of female psychology is unpredictability. Women love mystery. If she knows every move you're about to make, or the excitement dies. But when you keep her guessing, when you balance attention with space, seriousness with humor, or depth with playfulness, she feels that spark of unpredictability that keeps her hooked. Remember, attraction is not built on logic, it's built on emotion. Or if you can make her feel, you can make her want you. And finally, the most overlooked truth: stop chasing and start choosing. The man who chases communicates neediness, but the man who chooses communicates power. When you are selective, when you show her that not every woman qualifies for your time, she immediately perceives your value as higher, because in her mind, if you're not desperate for her attention, you must have options, you must have confidence, and you must have something rare. That's what makes her want you, even if she wasn't interested at first. Attraction has always been one of the most misunderstood elements in human relationships, especially when it comes to women. Many men approach it as though it were a logical equation. If you provide enough gifts, enough compliments, or enough effort, surely she will respond with love and interest. But this way of thinking overlooks a fundamental truth of female psychology. Women are not primarily drawn by logic, they are moved by emotions. A woman may recognize on paper that a man is hardworking, stable, or even attractive, but if he does not make her feel something deeply, that connection will fade before it ever begins. Feelings drive decisions more than facts do, and in the realm of relationships, emotion always outweighs reason. A woman might list qualities she wants in a partner, but when the moment comes, it's how she feels in his presence that determines everything. When you understand that attraction is emotional, you stop wasting time trying to convince a woman why she should want you. Convincing is logical, and logic doesn't ignite passion. Instead, you focus on creating emotional experiences that draw her in naturally. Think of it like this. If a man tells a woman he is ambitious, she might nod politely and say that's nice. But if she sees him passionately pursuing his goals, hears the excitement in his voice when he talks about his dreams, and feels his drive radiating from his presence, she is swept into that energy. her emotions light up. And suddenly he is not just ambitious, he is magnetic. Or this principle also explains why some men who are considered average in appearance manage to capture the attention of women over men who might be wealthier, taller, or better looking. The difference lies in emotional impact. An average-looking man who knows how to make a woman laugh, who creates moments of playfulness and tension, or who leaves her wondering what he will do next, stirs emotions that logic cannot compete with. Meanwhile, the man who simply relies on his physical appearance or financial status often finds himself ignored because those qualities alone don't stimulate feelings of curiosity or excitement. Female psychology is deeply wired to seek experiences that awaken emotions such as thrill, safety, admiration, and desire. When a woman encounters a man who can shift her mood, or who can challenge her in one moment and comfort her in the next, she feels alive in his presence. It is not about rehearsed lines or robotic strategies, it is about authenticity combined with the ability to influence how she feels around you. When she associates you with excitement and positive energy, her attraction grows whether she consciously wants it to or not. This is also why women often say they want a man with confidence, but what they really mean is they want a man who triggers the emotional response that confidence brings. Confidence makes a woman feel secure, it makes her feel like she can lean on him, and it makes her curious about what gives him that inner strength. A confident man creates an emotional reaction by simply being himself, while a man who lacks it creates doubt, worry, and hesitation. The contrast between those emotions is why one man is seen as irresistible while another is invisible. Attraction being emotional also explains why women sometimes seem unpredictable in their choices. A man might assume that because she once said she likes a certain type, she will always stick to that preference. Yet in real life, she ends up falling for someone entirely different because her feelings led her there, what she thought she wanted on paper was overshadowed by the way another man made her feel. This is the reality of female psychology, emotions dictate attraction far more powerfully than logic ever could. Confidence is one of the most magnetic forces a man can possess, and it has very little to do with arrogance or pretending to be something you are not. At its core, confidence is about self-belief, about carrying yourself with the understanding that you are enough, regardless of whether a woman acknowledges you or not. Women are highly perceptive to energy, and they can sense immediately whether a man is grounded in his own worth or desperately trying to prove it. The difference is night and day, and it often determines whether she feels attraction or indifference. Desperation communicates to her that you need her approval to validate yourself, while confidence communicates that you already know your value and her recognition is simply a bonus. A confident man does not beg for attention or chase validation, because he understands that his time, energy, and presence are valuable. When he enters a room, he does not need to announce himself loudly, yet people notice, his body language speaks before his words do. Shoulders back, eye contact steady, movements controlled, voice calm. These subtle signals send powerful messages to the subconscious mind of a woman. This man is in control. This man is secure. This man cannot be easily shaken. That kind of presence makes her intrigued, even if she was not initially interested, because confidence changes how she perceives you without a single word being spoken. Desperation, on the other hand, is one of the quickest ways to kill attraction. When a man overcompensates, floods her with compliments, seeks constant reassurance, he unconsciously communicates that he does not see himself as worthy. Instead of coming across as caring or romantic, he comes across as needy. Female psychology interprets neediness as weakness, and weakness creates a sense of discomfort rather than desire. Women want to feel that the man they are with has a strong foundation, that he is capable of standing firm regardless of whether she is present in his life or not. If she feels that she is the center of his entire existence, attraction fades, because there is no challenge, no mystery, and no demonstration of strength. Or confidence also shows itself in how a man handles rejection. Every man will face moments where a woman seems uninterested, distant, or even dismissive, or the insecure man reacts with frustration, sulking, or desperate attempts to win her back, while the confident man remains composed, or he does not see rejection as the end of the world, because he knows his value does not decrease simply because one woman does not recognize it, or this emotional strength instantly raises his appeal because it demonstrates maturity and independence. Or women are instinctively drawn to men who can handle adversity with calmness because it makes them feel that such a man can handle the challenges of life with the same poise. Or another layer of confidence is the ability to express yourself without fear. Many men hold back what they truly think or feel, or terrified of offending a woman or losing her interest, but this restraint often backfires because it portrays insecurity. A confident man, however, or speaks his mind respectfully but unapologetically. He can disagree without hostility, he can set boundaries without guilt, and he can express his desires without shame. Or this authenticity is refreshing because it shows that he values truth over approval, and when a woman sees that a man is not bending his identity just to please her, or her respect and attraction naturally grow. The most powerful aspect of confidence is that it cannot be faked long term. You can pretend for a while, but sooner or later, or your true self shows. Real confidence is built from within through self-improvement, discipline, and achievement. When a man invests in his body, his career, his mindset, and his skills, he gradually builds an unshakable belief in himself. Women pick up on this immediately because confidence is not just about words, or it is an aura that surrounds you. It is the calm assurance in your eyes, the patience in your reactions, the ease in your movements, or it is what makes you stand out without trying too hard, and it is what makes women feel they are in the presence of someone valuable. Or emotional control is one of the most underrated but powerful qualities a man can possess, especially when it comes to creating attraction. Or women are instinctively drawn to men who can maintain their composure under pressure because it signals strength, stability, and resilience. Or female psychology naturally tests men, sometimes without even realizing it. She might ignore a message, challenge a statement, or tease in a way that unsettles those who are insecure. These moments are not always about rejecting a man, but rather about measuring his emotional stability. Or a man who becomes defensive, angry, or desperate under these small tests reveals insecurity, while the man who remains calm and unbothered immediately rises in her eyes. Or women are not attracted to chaos in a man's emotions, they are attracted to his ability to remain centered no matter what is happening around him. Or the man who has control over his emotions shows that he is not easily manipulated by external circumstances. He does not let a delayed reply throw him into panic, or nor does he allow a sarcastic comment to ruin his composure. Instead, he understands that his reaction defines how he is perceived. By staying calm, or he demonstrates strength without needing to prove it. Women feel safe around men who cannot be easily shaken, or because that steadiness communicates that he can handle life's unpredictability. When she senses that he is in control of himself, she associates him with security, and security is one of the most attractive qualities in the male presence. Emotional control also allows a man to set the tone of interactions. Or many men unconsciously mirror the emotions of the women they pursue. If she is cold, they become nervous. If she is distant, they become desperate. Or this reactive behavior makes a man appear weak because it shows that he is at the mercy of her moods. The man who possesses emotional discipline, however, does not allow her energy to dictate his own. Instead, he influences her emotions by maintaining his frame. If she is moody, he can stay playful and positive. If she is distant, he remains self-assured and focused on his own energy. This ability to lead the emotional atmosphere makes her feel drawn to him, because he becomes the anchor in the interaction rather than the one drifting with the tide. Another crucial element of emotional control is patience. or women often respond to pressure with resistance. When a man rushes, demands, or forces situations to move faster than she is comfortable with, she instinctively pulls away. Or a man who is patient shows confidence in his value. He does not need instant gratification because he trusts that what is meant for him will come in due time. Or this patience is not passive, it is calm assurance. He continues to invest in himself, in his goals, and in living fully instead of obsessing over her every move. Or this non-attachment creates attraction because it signals that he is not dependent on her approval for his emotional well-being. Or emotional control also reveals itself in how a man handles conflict. Every relationship will face disagreements, and the way a man responds determines whether respect grows or fades. An emotionally weak man might shout, withdraw, or sulk, which creates instability. A man with discipline, however, listens, responds with clarity, and refuses to escalate unnecessarily. This level-headedness does not mean he allows disrespect, but it means he chooses his responses strategically rather than impulsively. A woman who sees that he can handle challenges calmly develops trust in his leadership, because she knows he will not crumble under pressure. Self-control extends beyond interactions with women and into every area of life. The man who can regulate his emotions is often disciplined in his habits, his work, and his decision-making. This consistency is incredibly attractive, because women subconsciously equate emotional stability with long-term reliability. A man who controls his impulses shows that he is capable of commitment, of staying focused on goals, and of making wise decisions. This sense of mastery over himself creates admiration because he is not just reacting to the world, he is shaping it. Presence and purpose are two elements that make a man unforgettable in the eyes of a woman, and they extend far beyond surface level attraction. Presence is the energy you carry with you wherever you go, the unspoken communication that tells people how to treat you. It is the calm confidence in your posture, the steady rhythm of your voice, and the way you command attention without begging for it. Women notice presence instantly because it triggers emotions that cannot be faked. When a man walks into a room with a strong presence, people pause, even if just for a moment, to take notice. This is not about being the loudest or the flashiest, but about being grounded, self-assured, and comfortable in your own skin. Presence communicates that you are not trying to impress. You are simply being yourself, and that authenticity resonates more than anything rehearsed. Purpose, on the other hand, is what drives your life forward. It is the reason you wake up with energy, the vision that pulls you into action, the fire that fuels your growth. A man with purpose is naturally magnetic because his life is not built around seeking approval. It is built around creating, building, and pursuing something greater than himself. Women are deeply drawn to men who have direction because it makes them feel that they are connecting with someone who knows where he is going. Without purpose, a man drifts, and drifting energy never inspires respect or desire. A woman may enjoy temporary attention from a man without direction, but long-term attraction thrives on the sense that she is aligning herself with someone who is moving forward with intention. When presence and purpose combine, they create a force that is difficult to resist. A man with presence makes a woman feel alive in the moment, while a man with purpose makes her imagine a future filled with possibility. He is not idle waiting for validation. He is on a mission, and his presence reminds her that he is rooted in strength. This combination of living fully in the present while moving with clarity toward the future is what sets him apart from others. Women instinctively admire this balance because it embodies leadership, stability, and excitement all at once. Many men make the mistake of thinking presence is only about how they look, but it is much deeper. Presence comes from the alignment between your thoughts, words, and actions. When you say what you mean and follow through consistently, people feel your authenticity. When you focus on growth instead of seeking constant validation, your energy naturally shifts. This creates a type of quiet confidence that women feel even before you speak. She does not just see you, she feels you. Because your energy communicates discipline, strength, and focus without you needing to announce it. Purpose is equally misunderstood. Or some think purpose has to be grand or world-changing, but it does not. Purpose is simply direction. It is having goals that matter to you and a vision that excites you. Or a man who is passionate about his craft, who invests in his body, mind, and future, or radiates a different kind of energy than a man who spends his life waiting for others to define him. Female psychology is wired to pick up on this difference. Or a man with purpose challenges her, inspires her, and makes her feel like being part of his journey is valuable. A man without purpose, no matter how charming in the short term, or eventually loses her interest because he offers no growth, no vision, no forward movement. Another powerful part of presence and purpose is how they shape interactions. Or a man with presence does not get lost in overthinking what to say because he knows his value is not based on perfect lines. Or a man with purpose does not get distracted by temporary rejection because he is too focused on his mission to be derailed. Or this creates a sense of non-attachment that women find compelling because it shows that while he may appreciate her, he does not rely on her for fulfillment. Or his fulfillment comes from within, and his purpose drives his life forward, whether she is present or not. Mystery and unpredictability play an enormous role in attraction, and they work on a level most men do not realize. When a woman knows everything about you from the very beginning, when every thought, every move, and every intention is laid bare, the excitement fades quickly. Human psychology is wired to crave what is unknown, to be pulled in by curiosity, and female psychology is no different. Women are stimulated emotionally, and part of that stimulation comes from a sense of wonder. Or when a man keeps her guessing, not in a manipulative way, but in a natural way that reflects a full and interesting life, he creates an emotional pull that logic cannot compete with. Or mystery is not about being secretive or dishonest. It is about not being overly available or predictable. It is about living with depth, having layers she can discover over time, and never making her feel that she has completely figured you out. Unpredictability is what keeps emotions alive. If every interaction follows the same pattern, or if she can anticipate your responses before you even speak, there is no spark left to ignite desire. But when you balance attention with space, seriousness with humor, or depth with playfulness, she never knows exactly what to expect. This uncertainty is thrilling because it keeps her emotionally engaged. It creates anticipation, and anticipation is one of the strongest forms of attraction. Think of it like a story. If you know every chapter in advance, there is no reason to keep reading. But if each page reveals something new, you are hooked. Women feel the same when a man carries an air of unpredictability that makes each encounter fresh and stimulating. Mystery also stems from having your own life and passions that are not centered solely on her. When a man reveals everything too quickly, or when he constantly seeks approval or floods her with attention, he strips away the intrigue. But when he has pursuits, goals, and interests outside of her, or she feels compelled to know more, she begins to ask questions, to wonder where his energy comes from, to imagine what his world looks like without her. This curiosity builds desire because she senses that he is not easily accessible, and what is not easily accessible is always valued more highly. Female psychology responds strongly to this dynamic because it signals that you are a man of depth, a man who cannot be fully contained or controlled, and that makes you more compelling. Unpredictability also involves emotional variety. A man who is always serious can come across as rigid, while a man who is always playful can seem shallow. The man who knows how to shift between these modes, who can tease one moment and inspire the next, keeps her on her toes. He is like a spectrum of experiences, and she never feels bored. This constant emotional stimulation is addictive, because it keeps her wondering what side of him she will experience next. It creates a rhythm of highs and lows that mirror the natural flow of attraction. It is important to note that mystery and unpredictability do not mean playing games. Games are transparent and eventually destroy trust. Or true unpredictability is simply a reflection of a full life, of being multidimensional, of refusing to conform to a script. Or it is about not being the man who sends a text the moment she does, not being the man who is always waiting around, not being the man who shows every card too early. Instead, or it is about moving at your own pace, revealing yourself gradually, and letting her feel the thrill of discovery. Mystery also connects deeply to respect. Or when a woman sees that a man is not constantly explaining himself, not desperate to be understood, but rather content with who he is, she respects that strength. Or he does not need to overshare to gain approval. He simply lives authentically and lets her uncover more of him as time passes. This process of discovery keeps her invested, or because each layer revealed feels earned, she begins to crave more of his time, more of his presence, and more of his essence, or because she knows there is always something new to learn, some side of him she has not yet seen. Chasing is one of the most common mistakes men make, and it almost always destroys attraction rather than creating it. When a man constantly pursues, constantly texts first, constantly adjusts his behavior to please, or he is communicating to the woman that she is above him in value. Female psychology picks up on this imbalance immediately, and instead of feeling desire, she feels pressure or boredom or even pity. The energy of chasing says, I need you to complete me, and nothing is less attractive than neediness. Or women are not drawn to men who center their entire lives around them. They are drawn to men who have their own standards, or who have the power to choose rather than beg for attention. When you stop chasing and start choosing, the entire dynamic shifts. Or choosing means you are selective about who you give your time and energy to, or it means you recognize your own worth and you don't hand it out freely to anyone who offers you a little attention. Or this selectiveness raises your value because it shows that you are not desperate for validation instead of constantly running after her, or you allow her to prove herself to you as well. This creates a sense of balance, and balance is essential for attraction to grow. Or when a woman feels she must earn your respect and your time, she begins to value it more deeply. What is scarce is valued, and what is overly available is taken for granted. Or the psychology behind this is simple. When a man chases, he removes all challenge from the interaction. There is no excitement, no curiosity, no reason for her to invest. But when a man chooses, he communicates that he has options, that he is in control of his life, and that he is not willing to settle for anything less than what aligns with his standards. This automatically elevates how she perceives him, or she begins to see him not as another man seeking her approval, but as a man whose approval she wants to earn. The roles reverse and attraction intensifies. Or this mindset of choosing also prevents a man from tolerating disrespect or poor treatment. When you are in chase mode, you often ignore red flags, accept excuses, and compromise your values just to hold on to her attention. But when you are in choose mode, you recognize that no amount of temporary validation is worth lowering your standards, you walk away from situations that don't align with your values, and in doing so, you demonstrate strength. Women deeply respect men who can walk away because it shows that their worth is not tied to one person's opinion. That act of self-respect alone often creates more attraction than months of chasing ever could. Choosing also ties directly into self-improvement. A man who chooses is usually focused on building himself, his career, his health, his mindset, his goals. His life does not pause or revolve around whether one woman is interested or not. This independence makes him more attractive because it proves that he is whole on his own. Women are drawn to men who are complete, not men who are seeking to be completed. When she sees that you are already fulfilled and that being with you would be an addition rather than a rescue, she wants to be part of that life rather than the center of it. Another dimension of choosing is the way it changes your communication. Instead of being overly available, you become intentional. Instead of sending constant texts, Or you send meaningful ones. Instead of rearranging your life to fit her schedule, you prioritize your mission and invite her to be part of it if she qualifies. Or this subtle but powerful shift communicates strength and direction. It tells her that you are not lost, you are leading. And if she wants to join you, it must be on equal terms. Or this dynamic fosters respect, and respect is the foundation of lasting attraction.